Strange. Adam is usually not the engine to be late.
Sorry for the delay.
No problem, Adam. It's not too bad. But I say, that's a very peculiar train you're pulling there. What's going on with that?
Well, a lot of traffic has been redirected to Brendam to increase efficiency, but this of course means that we're overburdened with even more traffic, which we were already struggling with. Topham is looking for a new engine to come and help with the load, and in the meantime we're trying to make do with what we have, thus resulting in these mixed trains.
Do they work?
Well, they do work, but efficiency is pulled from both parties.
How so?
Well, with a heavier train, the service is obviously slower, and the number of trucks we can take along is limited given that we also have to take the passenger train as well. And finally, the passenger train is way more uncomfortable since the addition of trucks is not a great helper, given that they shake a lot more, which translates to the coaches, causing them to shake more.
I see. I can imagine it's a temporary solution until the new engine arrives.
I think that's the idea. Although Topham does need to find something truly powerful since we need a lot of help at the moment. But of course the engine needs to be able to fit within the branch itself.
It does seem quite narrow when you think about it.
My point exactly.
But you know Topham, he's good at those sort of things.
I know, I'm not worried about it at all. It's just that it seems like it might be one of his biggest challenges yet.
Truly. Anyway, I have to go now. Good luck.
Thanks. I think we might need it.
Well, I've certainly tested how much my wheels can handle.
I think we all have, Colin. This has been a very busy time, but it's hopefully over soon. And to that, Edward, I can say yes.
Oh, well that's lovely to hear, sir.
Indeed. You actually found an engine.
I did indeed manage to find a new engine, who's to help you with work here on the branch line. And I think it might be the best engine for the job.
Are we talking heavy goods?
Yes indeed. He's very powerful and his record is very impressive.
That's a good start. When is the new engine arriving?
In a few days.
Sounds good, sir.
You four have done very well with keeping the branch running for these past years, despite the lack of motive power. I apologize for not getting any more locomotives until now, but the railway has been expanding more than I could have imagined, so it's been hard keeping up with everything. But with the new engine arriving to work here, things should calm down for you moving forward.
You have no need to apologize, sir. We understand the circumstances. And this has honestly been a fun challenge. I thought this would have been some sort of retirement for me, but it seems like it became the opposite.
Well, that was of course not the intention, but it is what it is, and you've showed that you're still kicking, Edward. But you should be able to have your retirement like you hoped. If you still want to.
Well, if things can just slow down a little bit, then that would be very nice.
Not to worry, Edward. The new engine should do the trick.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you.
No problem. What?
Sorry, didn't know you would be arriving today. Also, I didn't know what to expect based on what Topham said.
What did you expect?
Well, definitely not something of your scale. I can imagine that you've heard this a lot, but you're the largest tank engine I've ever seen.
That's a common saying when people first meet me.
I can imagine. It must get tiresome.
I guess.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. Lady is the name.
Gary.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Gary. Anyway, I have to get ready for my train back to the pits. Good luck!
Thanks.
Ah,
Gary, welcome to the railway. Your presence will be most appreciated given the circumstances, which I can imagine that you've been told.
yeah.
Excellent. And it's good to see that you've had a chance to meet Lady. While she's not one of ours, she will be a regular sight for you.
Very well.
And don't worry, you'll get a chance to meet the others. We're actually waiting for one of them so you can double hit your first train.
Alright.
Right, Gary, this is Adam.
Hello. Hello, Gary. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Well, I hope that you two can get along for now, since I have to go to a meeting with the dockmaster now. Good luck, Gary. Thanks, sir.
We've been looking forward to your arrival here, Gary, since we've been very busy for the past couple of years. So we've been in need of some more motive power.
Good. I need a change.
A change?
The place where I worked before, the trains were so small that I haven't had a challenge in ages.
Well, let's hope that you can find some challenges here.
Yeah, let's hope. Anyway, Topham said something about double hitting my first train.
That is correct. We're to double hit a very long train, much longer than most we see on this branch. We'll use the train so that you can get the hang of operations on the branch.
Very well. I'm ready.
Excellent. Let's go. Right, here's the train. We're to double hit this up to Wellsworth.
Aw, come on, Adam.
What?
Why did you have to hype up this train so much? I was starting to think it was really a long one, and then you present me with this puny lot?
What? I'm so confused right now. Are you saying this is a small train?
Yeah.
Gary, this is among the longest trains we've seen on this branch.
Well, I suppose I shouldn't say much, given that we have different capabilities.
You want to take this train single-handedly?
Might as well. It's way more efficient than if we both take it.
Are you sure you can do that?
You haven't seen the trains I was pulling back in London, but this right here is nothing like what I'm used to pulling.
So, you're seriously saying that you can take this train by yourself?
I could pull this lot on one cylinder if I had to, but I've got both working, so this is nothing.
Very well. I suppose that Topham won't mind you thinking about efficiency.
Right. Adam, why did I see Gary leave the yard alone with his train? I specifically told you you were to double hit it with him.
Well, sir, I think you underestimated how powerful he is.
I kept that well and clear in mind. That's why the train was so long.
Yeah, it's among the longest we've ever seen on this branch. But it could still be handled by, say, me and Edward. However, Gary more or less said that he could account for both of us with his power.
Are you sure?
Sir, the index stated his power level, right?
Yes, roughly 28,000 pounds in tractive effort.
Yeah, which equals to both the tractive effort of myself and Edward combined. He really is more powerful than I believe you are thinking, sir.
I think you're right, Adam. Perhaps I am overreacting slightly to this. If anything, I should be pleased with this. If he can take this train so easily by himself, when it would otherwise require two of you to burst your cylinders to deliver it, then it's definitely a very promising sign.
Well, that's one way to look at it, sir. It's just about utilizing it to its full potential.
Hello.
Hello, you must be the new one.
Yes, Gary.
And I'm Colin. Wait a minute, where's Adam?
At the docks.
What? I thought he was going with you.
It wasn't worth it, especially for this small lot.
You call that small?
Yes.
I see.
So, what am I to do now?
Oh, right, yeah, well, you're to take this train back to the docks.
Is there anything else going back to Brendam anytime soon?
Well, there's that lot as well.
Can I also take that one?
Both trains at once?
Yeah.
Sure, if you think you can pull it. That engine has gone mad. What? How's that possible? And that other train wasn't due for another hour. What do I do now?
Hello, sir. Hello, Gary. Where did you get this train from? Wellsworth. Strange, I don't remember arranging for such a long train.
Well, the length is probably because I took another train along with my original one.
You took two trains?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'm used to pulling trains that are longer than this, so I thought that I might as well. Well, I suppose that's not wrong. I guess Lily won't have any train to pull when she gets to Wellsworth. Is it bad that I took this train?
Well, not really. I'm sure that the train arriving here early won't be an issue. It's just throwing the schedule off slightly. This'll leave a gap open, which will just include engines standing around doing nothing.
Well, I'm sorry about that, sir.
No, it's not detrimental. And on the plus side, I suppose that this means we can end the practice of mixed trains. Not only so passenger services can improve, but also so you can have some more work to do.
Very well.
I don't believe that. That's just incredible.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today is an exciting day. I think I've worked out a schedule for the branch so that Gary can have some more work to do. Thank you, sir. And not just that. Today, Gary, you'll take your very first China clay train from here to Wellsworth. I know that it might be long overdue, but it was so that I could see if you needed that to assist your workload, in order to have a fair amount of work for you. Turns out you still needed some more work, so you'll now also have these trains to think about. Cool. Thanks, sir. No problem, Gary. As for the rest of you, same duties as usual.
Yes, sir.
Right. Have a wonderful day, you all. And good luck to you, Gary. Thanks.
I've never met an engine who lacks excitement and emotion as much as he does.
What do you mean?
He sounds so bored. It's like nothing in this world excites him at all. You saw it earlier today when Topham presented him with the new assignment. Most engines would be quite excited about that, but Gary, same reaction as with any assignment that he's given. It's like he's just bored.
I get what you mean. It's a strange way to act, but I guess we shouldn't complain too much. He is, after all, very productive.
Maybe a little too much. He leaves nothing for us to handle.
True, but that's not really his fault. He can't be held responsible for being so powerful, and for efficiency, it's best to just utilize it as much as possible.
Even when it's really, really hard to do so?
Yes, even when it's hard to do so.
Well, in any case, it does seem like we're getting the break that we asked for now.
Well, be careful what you wish for.
Very true.
Evening, Gary. How was your day today? It was definitely a day. Another day of clearing yards? Yeah. I see. But in that case, how was the clay trains? Pretty standard. Felt like any other train that I'm used to. Nothing different. Well, obviously the weight, but that's just standard with any goods train.
Can you even feel the difference in weight?
Yeah.
Oh. So, are you having fun at all with the work you now have?
At least I have something to do.
Could you please sound more appreciative? We're doing a lot to satisfy your needs, and you're showing no gratitude towards it. Be a little more respectful in the future, Gary. It can help you get a long way.
Okay.
Alright, calm your horses, Adam. Remember what we talked about earlier today. At least we're getting the help we asked for. But then again, gratitude is a great thing to show, Gary. And to apologize when you irritate someone.
Sorry, Adam. Hello, Edward.
Hello, sir.
I see that you managed to find some trucks to shunt.
Yeah, but this is about it. Gary has really been at it clearing the yards.
Indeed, and on the surface this does sound like a great thing. But it's a little awkward when it comes to operations on the branch.
I can understand that, sir. We do find ourselves without much work to do fairly often now.
Which is not really the best thing when it comes to efficiency.
No, indeed.
It's just unbelievable the amount that he can pull. If only he showed a little more emotion.
He is an odd one, isn't he?
Indeed. I've never met an engine who lacks excitement as much as he does. Any job that I give him, he just grunts and gets to work, almost as if he's disappointed.
Lack of excitement. You know, so I think I might have gotten a theory about this situation.
Go on.
I think he lacks excitement because he doesn't have any to get. Given that he's so powerful and reliable, most work that he does without any trouble. He has simply become bored with his work, given that it's not a challenge for him. I think that's what he lacks, sir. A challenge.
But he's been given so much more to pull. I don't understand. Well, at this point, I don't think you can satisfy him enough within the limits of the branch, sir. I think you might need to get a little more drastic. You know, Edward, that's a very good theory. It definitely explains the situation. And if this is the case, then his behavior is completely valid. This definitely needs some attention. We can't have engines who don't get anything out of their work. What is there else for him to do? The real engine challenger. So steep that I've had to shorten the trains passing it just so engines can have more power. Would that work? It's not a bad idea. Well, it's worth a shot. When you get to Ellsworth, Gary, there'll be a workman who'll tell you what to do next. Isn't he just going to tell me that there's another goods train waiting for me? No, that's not what he's going to tell you. It's going to be something very different. It'll be a change, I can assure you that. Alright, I'll get going. Are you sure that this change is going to work? He didn't sound much more excited than before. That's because he doesn't know what to expect. So he just expects the worst, which is nothing different from what he's used to. I see. Well, this better work, otherwise we'll be in trouble.
Gary, is it?
Yes.
Very well. In about 10 minutes there'll be a very long goods train that is to pass over Gordon's Hill. The engine pulling it can't do it by himself, so you're to give the train a push.
I'm to be a banker?
Yes.
That's new.
Are you the engine who's to be my banker?
Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to meet you. I heard that the Brendam branch got a new engine, and I'm assuming that that's you.
That's me, yes. Gary is the name.
And I'm Merlin. Anyway, we better not clog up the main line. Let's get going.
Very well.
Are you pushing, Gary?
Oh, yes, I'm pushing.
Thank you, Gary. Hope to see you around.
Well, that was different than I expected. Wow, it's been a while since I've been this exhausted.
I see a smile on your face. That's a first.
Oh, really? Well, I'm very sorry about that.
It's alright. What happened?
Well, I just had one of the best jobs that I've had in a long time. I was a banker.
A banker?
Indeed, a banker. I was a banker on this really heavy train and it felt like a breath of fresh air. I could really feel my pistons putting a lot of force into their every movement. Much more than I'm used to. It was a real rush. It felt incredible.
Well, sounds like you took that job much better than any engine I've ever met. But if it makes you happy, then that's not really a problem, I guess.
No, indeed. And I want to do it again.
That's great. It's lovely to finally see some excitement in you.
And it feels very nice. Well, Gary, how was your day today? It was wonderful, sir. Definitely one of the better ones I've had in ages. That's great to hear, Gary. Was it the banking job? It was indeed, sir. It's the best job I've had in a long time. Can I possibly do it again? Yes, Gary, you can. Actually, at that, I want to hereby announce that you'll be the banking engine of Gordon's Hill moving forward. Really? Oh yes. I'll make sure that you'll be stationed at Wellsworth as much as possible, lining up your arrivals with the mainline trains that need assistance. Thank you, sir. But that means I'm away a bit of the time. Can the branch really do that without me? I mean, you've been cleaning the yards these past 2 weeks or so. You've basically cut down a day's work of goods trains in half. I think we can do fine with this arrangement. Fair enough. Sir, can the mainline really supply that many goods trains? They do have to be quite long for a banker like Gary to be needed. Very true, Edward. But this arrangement actually allows me to solve a problem that we've been having for the past while. Which is... Simply put, given the severe gradients of Gordon's Hill, I had to implement a limit for the length of goods trains, just so that engines would have a fair chance of getting over it. This results in a big pileup here and there, with most of the extra trains having to be moved to Knapford. I tell you, it's a logistical nightmare. But now, the trains can be extended a lot, meaning that the logistics are much easier. So, to answer your question, Edward, the amount of goods trains won't decrease at all. That's great, sir. What a great way to utilize the situation. I thought so myself. Seriously, thank you, sir. This is actually something I'm looking forward to. That's good to hear, Gary. Glad to finally hear you being enthusiastic about something.